Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United versus Chelsea. This is the big one and is quite probably our biggest preview we've done in a hell of a long time. We've got the stats, and I hate stats, to prove that Jose Mourinho is right to have a go at the forwards, and you're going to be amazed by those figures in relation to that. We're also talking Luke Shaw biting back at Mourinho, Mata out for the season, Wayne Rooney, the saviour of Manchester United, but we're going to start off where it needs to start off, and that is Chelsea. I'll also be giving you our new £10 to £100 bet challenge, which will start this weekend with a credible company, but we'll come to that in a minute. But let's start off with Chelsea. This is big. If you've been following the United Stand for the last few months, you'll know I've been saying for a long time that we will beat Chelsea at home in the league. Well, Sunday's D-Day. Sunday's big D-Day. And I am so confident that we will win this game. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is in relation to the bet I'm going to talk about in a few minutes' time. But I'm also going to put my money where my mouth is and get myself on up to Old Trafford. Because I tell you what, we're going to win it and I'm going to be there to see it. We'll still have the watch along on Sunday. Don't worry. The chair will be there and others. But Goldbridge will be sitting in a chair at Old Trafford watching Manchester United beat Chelsea. I am deadly serious about this. It's the first game I've been to in 2 years because of all the work we've been doing on the United Stand. But this was too much of an opportunity to pass up. I'm going up there because we are going to win. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to win it right now. Starting off with Chelsea. Don't fall for the myth. Chelsea deserve to win the league. Of course they do. At this stage of the season, if you are top, you deserve to win the league. But there are circumstances behind that, and Manchester United can certainly beat them. If you go back to a few weeks ago, Chelsea, well rested. United had played loads and loads of games. We went there on a Monday night in the FA Cup. We went toe-to-toe with them, and the referee gave them advantage by sending Herrera off. Who knows what would have happened, but we certainly were on a level playing field with them, which we will be. Well, actually, we'll have an advantage because we're at home. We're going to win. But first of all, let me talk about Chelsea. Fantastic season for Chelsea. Is Conte comparable to Mourinho? Have a laugh. You're having a laugh. He's having a laugh. Take a day off. I'll tell you what, Conte's not a patch on Mourinho for very, very, very many reasons. What Mourinho's achieved in his career, I think it's totally disrespectful that people would even begin to think that Conte is better than Mourinho. But the simple facts are this. Why then, Mark? Why don't you give Chelsea? Why don't you give the Red Bull addict and by Red Bull addict I mean he's just an animated little pantomime act that runs up and down the sides, and you know, that's why I call him a Red Bull addict. But I digress. Chelsea have had a perfect storm. If Leicester had a perfect storm last year, and the story starts with Leicester, if Leicester had a perfect storm last year of all the top teams just being universally crap, then the one thing that Leicester did have was a consistent player in the midfield who was basically two players in one. His name was Conte. Where did Conte move to in the summer? Chelsea. Now that was United, Arsenal, City's fault for letting Chelsea get a player like that when they had at least European football to offer, but they didn't decide to go for him. Conte is a massive reason that Chelsea are going to win the title. It was a massive reason why Leicester won it, and it was probably the signing of the summer, and he deserves to be Player of the Year. So that's one big reason Chelsea are going to win it. Their second big reason, there's three, their second big reason Chelsea are going to win the league, and the second big reason that Liverpool have got a shout of getting top four is because they've got no European football. If you think back to January and the back end of December, when they had to play the same amount of games as everybody else, like twice a week, both those sides started to drop points. What a surprise. But in the build-up to December, like September to December, and from late February to now, lo and behold, Liverpool and Chelsea start picking up points again because they've only got one game a week. It's a huge advantage, and we've seen it week after week, season after season. Liverpool nearly won the title because they had no European football until Slippy G slipped on his arse. Leicester won it last year because they could just conserve energy all week and hit it one game at a time. So that's another massive advantage for Chelsea. But the biggest reason of all, and I don't want to disrespect Conte, and I don't want to disrespect the fact that having a whole week off to prep is a huge advantage, but the biggest reason of all Chelsea have won this title is because Conte inherited a title-winning side. Think back to the season that Mourinho assembled a team to win the title for Chelsea. They won it. They were comfortable champions. What did they do the next season? Nobody was sold. Nobody was sold. They all down tools. People like Hazard and Costa and everybody else. You know, typical mercenary footballers that, you know, Hazard last season, you'd swap him for Joey Barton. This year, he's one of the best players in the world again, like he was 2 years ago. What happened in the summer is they got rid of Mourinho, they got a decent manager in Conte, and all those title winners said, let's play like title winners again. So it's been a perfect storm for Chelsea. They'll be worthy title winners. But do I fear Chelsea? Do I respect them? Do I think that they are one of the greatest teams in the country? Well, they are where they deserve to be, but we will beat them on Sunday because as a one-off game, Manchester United are more than capable of beating Chelsea. How do we do it? Well, look back to that game in the FA Cup. Hazard was the problem, and we did attack Hazard the wrong way. We nitpicked, we allowed the referee to give soft yellow cards, and that cost us Herrera in the first half an hour. We can't do that in this game. What we need to do, the team needs to be this: De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Rojo and Bailly, Luke Shaw at left back. We need pace in the team because I tell you what, Willian or Pedro or Hazard, whoever they use on the width, they are quick players. So you've got to have quick fullbacks. You play Darmian there, it's suicide. You play Blind at left back, it's suicide. It's got to be Shaw and Valencia, who are both physically strong as well and can push them further up the pitch. But I've also got the pace if we get caught on the break. The midfield three, it can't be Carrick. I'd love Carrick to play. He can't play twice in 3 days. I'll be amazed if he does. So we've got to box a little bit clever. It's got to be Herrera and Pogba as the midfield two. Stick Mkhitaryan ahead of them. It's a compact, dynamic, fast midfield three, and that's what you need. If anybody, and I don't think anybody is that ill, would be thinking about dropping Fellaini in there, then that is suicide as much as it playing Darmian. He is slow, he can't pass the ball, he'll get bypassed, he can't hold on to the ball. It would be absolute suicide, and you know, you can use Fellaini away against Sunderland and Middlesbrough because it's his level. If you use him against the top of the table, we may as well just hand the points over. So I can't imagine Mourinho would do it, even though he's in love with Fellaini. So that would be my midfield three. Up front is obviously Zlatan. What are you going to do on the width? It's a massive problem for us this season. You know what? I would play Lingard on the right because he just is ahead of Martial at the moment, who I think has been destroyed by Mourinho this season. I think very quickly, I'm not slating Mourinho here. I just think he's got a one size fits all approach to our players, and that is to publicly humiliate them. And it works with some, but it doesn't work with Martial. It doesn't work with him at all. So it's got to be Lingard and Rashford, which is worrying. But we've got nobody else. Unless he's going to chuck Martial in and we see the Martial that we all know and love, which I don't think we will, he's got to go with Rashford and Lingard, which is a shame because I don't think they are good enough at the moment. But they give us some pace on the break. And I think what we'll see on Sunday is something we haven't seen from United for a long time. A big performance, a sort of a cup final performance. So how do we beat them? We've got to win the midfield. You've got to win the midfield. Kante, Matic, very, very tough midfield too. And then they may have Fabregas in there. They'll have Hazard dropping in there. Pogba and Herrera are key. They've got to get at them. Mkhitaryan's got to come in as the number 10 and get at them. And Lingard and Rashford have got to support. But when we get the ball, we've got to move quick. We've got to use the flanks because we're playing Zlatan. We know he's not got the pace. But that's how we'll beat Chelsea. Down the flanks, Old Trafford, at home, use the flanks, use the force of Old Trafford and get at them that way. And when they get the ball, everyone's got to work back. Patience against Chelsea is key. If you remember the preview for the FA Cup game, let's not go gung-ho at them. Use the width, but be patient because Chelsea are a system. When they've not got the ball, they become this 5-3-1 formation. When they have the attack, they become a 3-4-3. They'll leave Costa up on the halfway line, and when we've got the ball, we've got to be patient, which is a shame that Carrick can't play because he suits that game perfectly well. But I don't think he will use him. So, what are you thinking about that? Public humiliation of players isn't washing with me, says Tyrone. Martial must play, says Ricken. And even though I love Rashford, he's really bad on the wing, says Warren. The problem is, and I'm going to come on to this now, the problem is, I don't agree with what Mourinho did last night, publicly having a go at the forwards. I thought it was one of our better performances, but we didn't create enough chances. We lost that game because he brought somebody on, and he does this a lot around the 70-minute mark. He gives away the initiative of the game, and he changes the course of the game. And I've seen it do it with Rooney a few times, and Fellaini obviously as well, and others. And the initiative goes to the opposition. There was I mean, for those who are watching, you're going to get a real nugget of information here. The stupidity of bringing Fellaini on was compounded by something that when this is a multi-billion-pound business, and he has got scouts earning hundreds of thousands of pounds, the stupidity of the Fellaini substitution, not only because Fellaini's been brought on for height and then can't be asked to defend a cross. But also, that crowd, that team, they were beaten. They were out of ideas, and that was rumbling towards a 1-0. You bring Fellaini on, who used to play for Standard Liège. They start booing him straight away. The crowd get up for it. The players get up for it for Anderlecht. And, you know, they were over the moon. We will beat them in the second leg. We will go through. But because you could tell that. They got 1-1 and it was like they'd won the cup. They've drawn with Manchester United at home. It was probably one of their biggest results ever, which is even more embarrassing that we let it slip. But bringing Fellaini on is always a bad thing. But bringing him on to get the opposition crowd up was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But we can't afford to see him on Sunday. We can't afford to see him in any important games anymore. But the most telling thing about what Mourinho said about having a go at the forwards, there is an element of truth of it. Now, I'm not big on stats, but second bit of nugget here. Manchester United have had more shots on goal than everybody else in the Premier League apart from Liverpool and Spurs. We've also had more shots on target than anybody else in the Premier League apart from Liverpool and Spurs. Now there's 20 teams in the Premier League, so that means we're third for shots on goal and total shots. Guess where we are for conversion rate? Second from bottom. It's appalling. It's abysmal. It is a disgrace. And Mourinho is right to call that out. I mean, this is not just a blip. This is consistently bad finishing to the effect where he has to mention people like Hernandez coming back, because he knows if he's got Hernandez, if he has half of those chances, he puts more than half of them away. We are not clinical enough in front of goal, and Zlatan's included in that. You know, he scored a lot of goals this year, and we would be mid-table without him. But we've had so many chances. You know, if it was like Van Gaal, where we hardly, I think this time last year, we'd created hardly any chances. Well, this year we've created bloody loads. But to be second bottom of conversion rate, but third top with chances is a disgrace. And I don't like stats, but that's bloody ridiculous. You can't move away from them stats. It's not like a pointless stat like, you know, Pogba's had the most take-ons in the league in his own half. This is like shots on goal, conversion rate. Very simple. And Mourinho's right. But what I would say is, it's April, middle of April now. He's had a whole season. Why didn't we go and get somebody? I'm sure the stats were reflective of this in January. We could have probably offered 20 million and got Hernandez back. Mourinho has to take responsibility. I don't like publicly having a go at players because, you know, we were aware of this in October. We were aware when we drew at home to Burnley and Stoke, you know, that we had loads of chances and we missed, and we've not been able to sort that issue out all season. I mean, you know, get them just shooting at the goal every day. Yeah, I don't know, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and we need to be far better than that. But you feel that at some point we will click, and this game certainly has the potential to do it. And I predict that we will beat Chelsea 2-0. That's how I think it will be. I don't think we'll concede against them. I've just got a funny feeling that it will be 2-0. Mark, please make a vlog of your trip to Old Trafford from the minute you get up right until you go live for Sunday Night Live. Even if you upload it on Monday, Tuesday, it's a golden opportunity. That's from Shvi Mello. You've read my mind. There will be. Follow us on Snapchat, United Stand MUFC, all one word. Follow us on Instagram. I'll be doing stuff throughout the day, and you'll be able to see that. And I will be doing a vlog, which will probably go up around Sunday night at some point. But yes, I am doing that, and there's a reason I'm doing that, because anybody who is a Manchester United fan who goes to games, what we're looking for from you, if you want to get involved with the United Stand, is to do your own little match day vlogs. If you go to games, you can be on the United Stand, but I will show you how it's done on Sunday. You know, lead by example, that's what I believe. So that bit of stats thing was actually an article on our website, theunitedstand.com, by Jason Bowditch, and I wanted to give him a shout out at Bowditch90 on Twitter, at jbowditch90 on Twitter. It's a fantastic article. Go to the website if you want to read more about that. Interesting that I put Luke Shaw in my starting lineup. If anybody saw his interview on Sky Sports today, it's a very compelling interview. I'll give you the nugget of it again. I'm getting loads of nuggets. You'll be rich. He basically said, I left that. Everyone knows Mourinho basically said he was going to go in the summer, or alluded to it a couple of weeks ago. Luke Shaw had a meeting with Mourinho, sort of changed his mind a bit, and he's been involved a bit since. But Luke Shaw came out today and said, the one thing I left him with is that I'm going to prove you wrong. Which, some people think that's great, and it shows a fight from Luke Shaw, which, you know, Mourinho reverse psychology is great. But I think it left me with a little bit of concern that Luke Shaw's saying, I'm going to prove you wrong. Does that mean that Mourinho's more or less said to him, you're not good enough, I don't believe in you, whatever. And can he change Mourinho's mind? He's got to use Bastian Schweinsteiger as his example, really, because let's not forget, Mourinho was wrong about him. Schweinsteiger worked his way back in from the kids to the first team, and when he left, Mourinho admitted he'd got it wrong. So there is hope for Luke Shaw. He's just got to get his head down and go for it, because hopefully he will play on Sunday. I'd be amazed if he doesn't. Juan Mata out for the season is a big loss. I think when you look at creativity, we miss Mata. He's out for the season, so you know, effectively, if Mata is going to be at Manchester United next year, which I think he will be, we'll be treating him like a new signing, because we're not going to see him again this season, which is sad. We're also not going to see Phil Jones or Chris Smalling till at least the middle of May, which, to be honest, I sort of think you're out for the season, because come the middle of May, all we'll really have left is a couple of Premier League games and hopefully a Europa League Cup final, by which time whoever's been playing at centre-back deserves to be our centre-back. So I think Smalling and Jones, hopefully one of them has played their last game, Phil Jones, because I just think he's injured way too much. You just can't, if you can't rely on a player, you need to get rid of him. So they're out for the season as well. Baloguet's saying that De Gea will leave in the summer, which means he'll retire with United. Brilliant, that's your young chop beats. I'd agree with you on that. Ray Wilkins has said that Wayne Rooney is the answer to Manchester United's goal-scoring problems. If it was Wayne Rooney of 2011, I would agree with him, but I just think it's clutching at straws. You know, Manchester United fans, what does he think we are, mugs? We've been watching Rooney for the last 3 years decline. I don't think Rooney can come back and be the number 9 he was in 2011. I think Rooney's a number 10, and he's a squad player number 10. He's not. I don't think Rooney's going to start scoring loads of goals for us. He's just not that player anymore, and I think it's really naive of Wilkins to sort of, you know, build expectations around Rooney, really. I think we've all sadly accepted that Rooney's on the decline and he's a squad player when fit. He's not going to come back. We've been waiting for it for 3 years. He's not going to come back and be that Wayne Rooney that we remember as the great at Manchester United. I think he can come back. We need him back as a squad player. We need him back as an option. If he was fit on Sunday, you might think, well, should we play Rooney at 10, drop Lingard and put Mkhitaryan on the right, or even on the left and play Lingard and put Rashford on the bench? You know, Rooney would be welcome back at the moment because he's better than Fellaini, but we'll have to see what happens with that. What I want to talk, I want to talk about that as well. So, for those of you who was around in January, February time, we had the link-ups, I think, with a couple of bet companies. We've got a big one, Bet365. I'm sure you've all heard of them. Very, very credible. The link is in the video description for this, and we're going to combine it with, purposely held it back, with this Chelsea game, because I believe we're going to win this, and this is where we're going to start the £10 to £100 challenge. Now, the link in the video description is it's in there. I think it's the second paragraph with Bet365. All you've got to do is click on that link, sign yourself up with Bet365, and it is not a free bet, it is a matched bet. So if you put a tenner on, they will match that bet and you will get a tenner back. And that's how it works, and the terms and conditions are there. However, we are going to do this together, and it will be happening for every Manchester United game, because we're going to do a £10 to £100 challenge. To join it, just sign up on there. But my tip is Manchester United to beat Chelsea. I know some of you might be quite tentative about that, but I've been adamant about it for a very long time. The odds, decimal, are 2.80, so it means a tenner will win you 28 quid, and you will get your tenner back as well. So it's big odds. You never get Manchester United at 2.80 at home. There's a reason we're at that, because I don't think we've won at home in the league for a long time, and obviously Chelsea are top of the league, so there is a reason behind it. However, I think that we will win this game, and that is my tip. So get yourself on the £10 to £100 challenge. We'll get it done before the end of the season, and like I say, it's an offer exclusive for the United stand with Bet365. Link in the video description, and they will match your deposit. So you can do a tenner, or you can go right up to 200 quid, which I wouldn't advise you do, but £10 to £200, whatever you put on it, that's a match bet. They will give you that back, and it is in real money, not free bets. So that's that covered as well. Spurs is going to win the league, says St Colombo. Well, I'd like us to beat Chelsea for many reasons, selfishly for Manchester United, but I'd also like them to win because I think Spurs have been the best team we've played this season. I know we beat them, but they're the best opposition I've seen us play this season. JS Gaming says £10 is lost then. No, we're going to win this game. We're going to beat Chelsea on the weekend. I'm 100% sure about it. Why do you keep talking up for these players, especially the forwards? Don't know what you're on about. Hazard's a major problem for United, says Rick Pal. It's a good point because, Hazard was the reason Herrera got sent off. He did play well against us in that cup game. But we just need to be a little bit smarter. We do. We need to deal with him smartly. I would sort of, would you man-to-man mark him? I think that's too defensive. I just think what you've got to do with Hazard is when we get the ball, when Chelsea get the ball, we've got to be, and this is probably why Carrick doesn't work in the team, and certainly not Fellaini. Chelsea are a bit like Leicester last year. Get a lot of men behind the ball when you've got the ball, and then when you make a mistake, they'll hit you on the break very quick. We've just got to have people who are quick enough that when we lose the ball, we get back into position. Herrera and Pogba are quick enough. Mkhitaryan's quick enough to just get in the way and put his foot in. And obviously Valencia and Shaw are quick enough. And Rojo and Bay aren't going to go anywhere to be out of position anyway. They're always going to be in their position. So that's how you deal with Hazard. Just get men behind the ball when they've got the ball. Don't allow yourself to get hit on the break. The only reason we get hit on the break at home is because of misplacing a pass or an attack breaking down, which is why patience is so important. Tactically, we don't need to target Hazard. We don't need to man-man mark him. We don't need to be tackling him and taking him out like we did at Chelsea. It was a bit of a stupid tactic, really, because doing that away from home just gives the referee, who tends to, side with the home team, opportunities to give you yellow cards, and then you lose a player. So we don't need to do that. Chelsea Estable 6 says, go win the Europa League. I think people are taking this Europa League is very important for Manchester United, and we need to win it. But Chelsea, this game. This game is not just Chelsea in the Premier League, and I think Mourinho is trying to con the media as well. This is Jose Mourinho against a club that he basically put on the map. And he did, and I know that the journey started before Mourinho with Ranieri and others and big players being signed. But Mourinho was the one who won the title. Mourinho was the one who put Chelsea on the map. I know he didn't win them the Champions League, but he very nearly did a couple of times. They were robbed, weren't they? I think was it against Barcelona? Was he the manager then? But even against Liverpool in the semi-finals, there was dodgy decisions in that as well. But Mourinho put Chelsea on the map. I think he won them 3 Premier League titles. Well, he did. He's fantastically well at Chelsea. They sack him as a champion, just like Leicester did with Ranieri. I find that ridiculous. And he went back there in October. He got his pants pulled down and humiliated. He went back there a few weeks ago, and the fans were chanting "fuck off Mourinho" to their best manager of their history. It would be like as, I'm not going to say Sir Alex, because Sir Alex is the greatest manager ever, and Manchester United fans would never do that. But it would, so we can't really use Manchester United. But it would be a bit like, well, we wouldn't even do it to Ron Atkinson. If Ron Atkinson came back to Old Trafford, which is not a manager anymore, we wouldn't start going, fuck off fat Ron and stuff like that. It's just classless. But to do it to your greatest manager you've ever had, have no doubts that Mourinho will hurt about that, and he will have a lot of resentment towards Chelsea. Also, Conte humiliated him in that 4-0 win. Chelsea are going to win the title, and beating us on Sunday will basically virtually secure it for them. Spurs have got a big ask to rein Chelsea in anyway, considering they've got to play us and Arsenal still. They will be banking on us winning. Every Spurs fan will be a Chelsea fan on will be a United fan on Sunday. And Mourinho knows that. He knows if we can win on Sunday, it gives us some confidence, much needed belief. It stops Chelsea. It proves a point that he can beat the title who are going to be the champions. So Mourinho can play it down. I'm not playing it down. He isn't really, deep down he's not playing it down. I'm up for this. I want us to win this. I want us to put that little Red Bull addict back in his box and send him back down to to London first class. And we can do it. If we don't do it, then I'll be very frustrated, because it will just be another indication that this set of players have got something wrong with them. But this is their opportunity to right so many wrongs at Old Trafford this season. This is their opportunity to show us, the fans, the belief that we have in them, that they can do it against the best, and we can win at Old Trafford. And I'm confident that we're going to do it. And people can call me deluded or whatever, but I'm going up there, and I don't really, I love watching Manchester United, and it's great, and I'll be giving you the match vlog on what the differences are and everything like that. But I'm going there to win, and I fully expect us to win. Edgar says justice will be served on Sunday, and United will win 4-0. I'd love that. I think it'll be 2-0. Zahir says United will get top 4. And Chad says if we lose, it will be the ultimate embarrassment. Tell you what, that is a good point. I don't, you know, who knows how we will lose if we did lose. But if we do lose, it's potentially really, it's not a game to lose. It's not a game to lose because confidence is everything in life and football, and any sort of win on Sunday will give us momentum. Any sort of loss kills top 4, and I'm sure we'd come out and say, well, now we can focus on the Europa League. But if you've been beaten as a sports person or anything, if you're beaten, then psychologically that damages you because you doubt yourself. So if we beat Chelsea at the weekend and we're going to be champions, I think, then we're like, well, we've just beat the champions at home. You know, we can do anything we want to do. If we get beaten on Sunday, then it just hammers home that this has not been a great season. Can we, you know, in their heads, they'll be like, can we really win this Europa League? Whereas if we win, they'll believe. I can't wait to see Conte's face when we beat Chelsea, says Jazrup. There are concerns. Isaiah says there, but as soon as we score, we won't stop. I presume what he's on about... I'm going to answer your question, Amora, as in, because it's late on in the video and, you know, it's late on, so I can sort of say what I like. But first of all, I would be concerned if we're 1-0 up and then we go and bring Fellaini on and try and park the bus. We've lost points to Arsenal doing that, remember, and it's not the way. And I think the crowd will respond if we try to do that because it's backfired so many times. Jose will play for a draw, says KJ Goddam. I wouldn't rule it out, but... playing for a draw is dangerous, and we've still got a chance to top 4, so he's got to play for a win. If he plays for a draw... The thing is, you can't mug fans off, whether it's fans at the ground or fans watching it on telly like a lot of you will be as well. He can't mug us off. If he plays for the draw, it'll be abundantly clear straight away. You know, we played at Anfield with, you know, a packed our half, and it was obvious we were playing for a draw. And he tried to say, well, we had the best chance of the game with Zlatan, and we did. But we played for a draw. And if we do that at Old Trafford, it will be abundantly clear and he'll get a lot of stick for it. Managing Manchester United is one of the hardest jobs in world football because, and Mourinho is learning this, because it's not just about winning, it's about winning the right way. You can't mug Old Trafford or United fans off by just grinding out results at home. You've got to entertain, and Mourinho is learning that, and we have entertained at times. I'll go back to those stats. We've just not put the ball in the back of the net enough. I predict at least one glaring miss from us on Sunday, says C_. I predict you're right. Amora Assizin says, please get on the Full-Time Devils fan cams afterwards. I've emailed them, they don't reply, so it's not me. It's their choice, isn't it? And that, you know, I would happily go and do it. I don't mind. They're a Manchester United fan channel. I've got no problem with it. And but no, it won't happen. And we're one step ahead of you on that. Why is United better against bigger clubs? Says I upload random videos. I don't think we actually are. I mean, I don't have those facts to hand, but I don't think we actually are. I think we've, you know, well, Liverpool 2 points over 2 games. Man City lost. Chelsea lost. Arsenal drew. Spurs won. So we haven't taken that many points from the top teams this year, to be honest. We've been good away from home, but not against the big teams. I don't think we've beat any of the big teams away from home either. Tyrone's, I agree, playing for a draw at United shouldn't be acceptable. Mark, would you take 4 points out of the Chelsea and City game? Says Widham 7. I think that would be good. I think it would be good. But let's not forget, sandwiched in between Chelsea and City, we've got Burnley away, and Burnley are very good at home. So I think if you said to me, would I take 7 points from Chelsea, Burnley and City, I would take it. You know, 2 of those games are away. We're quite good away from home. Isaiah's confidence. Please start with Martial, says Zakir. Martial's something we'll pick up on over the coming weeks, but it's not looking good. Indy, yes, I am. I am at the game on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Lots of Chelsea fans on. You know, they're welcome on. We'll see on Sunday when we beat you. And this is Pogba's time, says the Sergeant's M's. And Mark, do you think De Gea is vital for the game? Well, I think De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So Romero had nothing to do last night, so you can't really judge him. But you've got to pick your best players. You've got to pick your best players. And if Martial's in any form, you should start Martial over Rashford on the left. But I don't think he'll go with that, to be honest. Argent Latifi makes the very valid point. He says, I'm worried about Fellaini playing. If we pick Fellaini on Sunday, then all this is out the window and my trip is probably wasted. But, we all know that. If Mourinho doesn't know that, then, God help us. Hopefully we could still win it. But, we had this with Van Gaal when he wouldn't pick Herrera and Mata, and you're playing every game with one arm behind your back. Picking Fellaini, or bringing him on, is just basically tying one arm behind your back, and you can win games, but I don't really think you can against somebody of the quality of Chelsea, to be honest. Somebody just asking what your tip is. My tip is that Manchester United will beat Chelsea. You can get it at odds of 2.80. It's our first bet in our £10 to £100 challenge. The link is in the video description. It's with Bet365, which everybody will know. It's a credible company, and they are doing an exclusive offer where your first bet will be matched. It's not a free bet, it's a matched bet. So whatever you put on, you will get back. So if you put a tenner on, you will get a tenner back. The link is in the video description for that. Get on the £10 to £100 challenge. 28 quid you'll get back, and your tenner if Manchester United win on Sunday, which we will. Link in the video description. Get on that, join in it. I'm certainly on it. I've been going on about this for weeks and weeks that we will beat Chelsea on Sunday, and I will not deviate from that. We will win. Thanks everybody for watching. It is Good Friday. I hope you've had a good Friday. But back tomorrow. I'll be doing my Manchester United versus Chelsea tactics preview on my channel, the Mark Goldbridge channel. It'll be about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. For those people who like that, it's me with the live comments. Played a bit of FIFA with the team I think will play against Chelsea on world class mode, but showing you how we should do it, in a tactics way, and talking and interactions. That's 11 o'clock on Mark Goldbridge channel. There'll probably be a bit of a video going up tomorrow as well. And obviously on Sunday we're jam-packed. We've got the watch along that will start at 3 o'clock because it's a 4 o'clock UK kickoff. And obviously United Stand MUFC, all one word, Snapchat throughout the day on Sunday, Instagram, Twitter. I'll be there at Old Trafford, and I'll be on the watch along at Old Trafford as well. So join us for that. Lots going on. Remember to drop a like on the preview before you go. We got over 1,000 likes on the preview on the last one, and I said on the last video, previews never get many likes. I don't know why. I think everyone just watches it and forgets to do it. So please do drop a like on the video, because we were starting to think you don't like the previews, but I think that's been a fast half an hour with loads discussed on it, and I've really enjoyed it. So Jazrup says, why are you so confident? Because I just think we're going to do it. We're Manchester United at home. We're better than what we've played this season at home. And it's about time we sent a bloody statement out about how good we are and how good we can be. So come on, United, we can do it. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop us a like I say. Subscribe to the channel if you're new on the hologram in the bottom right hand corner. And get yourself on the £10 to £100 bet. You'll be kicking yourself on Sunday night that you haven't won 28 quid if you don't. The link is in the video description. And obviously it's a match bet as well. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, 11 o'clock on my channel, Mark Goldbridge, Manchester United versus Chelsea tactics preview. And enjoy the weekend. Thanks for watching.